Right. So today, we're going to be diving into the world of SEO.
With this guy, Tarek Jahan.
Okay.
You sent his bio over. Wanted to get a handle on how this guy does SEO. And it's not just keywords,
Yeah.
The thing that really stood out to me looking at his bio is that he calls himself a numbers-driven creative.
Interesting.
I kind of like that combination.
Yeah.
He's found the secret sauce,
Yeah. No, it's cool.
It's that analytical side of SEO, but also,
Right.
connecting with actual humans on the other side of the screen.
Absolutely.
So let's jump into his bio a little bit.
Okay.
One of the things that he talks about is this whole idea of semantic SEO. I'm really curious to hear you talk a little bit more about that because
Sure.
it seems like it's one of those terms that's getting thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
What is semantic SEO and why should anybody care?
Well, you know how Google's always getting smarter,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it can almost read your mind.
When you type in a search,
Yeah.
semantic SEO is all about staying one step ahead of that.
Okay.
It's not just about the words themselves anymore.
It's about understanding the intent behind the search.
Oh, okay.
What is the user really trying to find?
So it's less about shoving keywords onto a page.
Yes.
And more about almost anticipating what they want to
Good.
learn or it's mind reading.
It is. It is like mind reading.
In a way.
Okay.
And Tarek uses these things called knowledge graphs.
And ontologies.
Okay.
Now stay with me.
Yeah.
It's not as complicated as it sounds.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
So imagine Google is building this massive
Web of information.
Right.
Right. They're connecting.
Concepts and ideas, even like those random Wikipedia rabbit holes you go down late at night.
Right.
That's kind of like their knowledge graph.
And ontologies are just
a fancy way of saying we're going to organize information.
in a way that mirrors how those ideas connect
Okay.
in the real world.
Gotcha.
So instead of just focusing on one keyword,
Yes.
you're thinking about
The whole ecosystem.
the whole ecosystem
Yeah.
of like related topics and things.
Exactly.
And that's what Tarek is all about.
Okay.
He wants to create content that truly maps onto that knowledge graph,
Okay.
providing comprehensive answers.
Even to questions people haven't explicitly asked yet.
So I'm starting to see how this guy is a numbers-driven creative
Because he's using data,
Yes.
this knowledge graph,
to figure out what people actually want.
before they even know it themselves.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's where things get really interesting because he takes this idea even further.
With what's called programmatic SEO.
Okay, so now I'm like, my mind is blown with this knowledge graph.
But now I'm thinking, how do you manage all this?
Right.
It seems like you would need a team of
It's a lot.
SEO wizards
Yeah.
working around the clock.
We are not wrong.
That's where programmatic SEO comes in.
Okay, hit me with this.
Programmatic SEO.
Think of it as a way to scale up your SEO efforts
Mm-hmm.
without losing that human touch.
Okay.
Because, see, Tarek's big on efficiency.
Right.
Because who has time to manually create?
Hundreds of pages of content.
Right.
Nobody programmatic SEO lets you automate.
Some of those more tedious tasks,
Okay.
like, for example, optimizing product descriptions or building out content hubs
Okay.
based on specific templates.
So now I'm a little nervous
Okay.
because you're talking about robots writing my content for me.
Right.
How do I know that it's not going to sound like...
Like a robot wrote it.
Okay, so we're not talking about handing the keys over to some AI overlord.
Just yet. But the thing that Tarek really stresses
is that human oversight is absolutely crucial
Right.
when it comes to programmatic SEO.
So it's not just like setting it and forgetting it.
No.
You're still like
You're finding that sweet spot between automation.
in quality control.
Okay.
So it's almost like you're giving a team of interns like a roadmap to follow,
Absolutely.
but you're not just like letting them loose.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They give them the road.
Instead of just letting them wander around lost in the SEO wilderness.
Totally.
And you know, one thing I do like about this guy's approach is that there is something very grounded about it, even though we're talking about these like
Right.
knowledge graphs and AI and all this kind of stuff.
He seems to have these core principles that he returns to
Absolutely.
that I think are really, really interesting.
It's clear he's not chasing after every shiny new SEO tactic.
He's focused on building something sustainable,
Right.
something that will stand the test of time.
Yeah, I'm all about the long game.
Okay.
So let's get into these core principles.
Which I want to break them down.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I think they can apply to a lot more than just SEO.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about Tarek's core SEO principles, like the stuff that makes his approach kind of stand the test of time.
Right.
Where do we even start with that?
Well, he is super big on data-driven decisions.
Okay.
This isn't about like, following gut feelings.
This is about looking at the numbers,
right.
understanding what's working, and then using that to refine your strategy.
So it's like having a GPS for your content.
Exactly.
So, okay, cool. This is where people are going.
It tells you where to go.
This is what they're responding to.
Yeah.
Let's adjust accordingly.
And it's not just about chasing algorithms either.
Okay.
Tarek is all about a user-centric approach.
He's always asking, how can we make this better? For the people who are actually going to read, watch, or listen to this.
Yeah, it's about humans at the end of the day.
Exactly, not just gaming a search engine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So,
and that leads to his emphasis on
sustainability and scalability.
Right.
He's not interested in those quick wins.
That fizzles out after a week.
Right.
You know, he wants to build SEO strategies that stand the test of time.
Right.
That can grow with you.
Okay.
Cool. So we've got data, we've got
the
user-centric, long game.
And that brings us to his final core principle.
Okay.
Innovation and adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Tarek knows that the SEO world is constantly changing.
Right.
What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you've got to be willing to
learn, experiment, evolve.
So you're not just learning the rules. You're like,
exactly.
Okay, how do I rewrite these rules when they change on me?
Exactly. And that's what I find so inspiring about Tarek.
He's not afraid to challenge the status quo.
Okay.
Try new things.
Right.
Constantly push the boundaries of what's possible in SEO.
Like always tinkering, always.
Always.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Always looking for that better way to do things.
I like that a lot.
It's contagious, isn't it?
It is.
It makes you want to up your own game.
Totally.
And approach SEO.
Yeah.
With that same sense of adventure.
Totally. So somebody's out there listening to this.
And they're just like, oh my God, SEO.
Yeah.
My brain hurts.
Right.
What would you say is like the biggest takeaway?
I would say
SEO doesn't have to be this
big, scary, technical monster. Yes, there are technical elements to it.
Right.
But at its core, it's about understanding your audience.
Creating valuable content and being willing to adapt and learn along the way.
So approach it with a sense of curiosity.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to experiment.
Yes.
And always be thinking about...
Keep the human on the other side of the screen in mind.
That human on the other side, yeah.
Exactly.
Love it.
And remember, there's no one-size-fits-all strategy.
Okay.
What works for one person might not work for another.
It's about finding what works best for you.
Right.
Your goals and your audience.
Awesome. Well, there you have it.
Another deep dive.
In the books.
There you go.
Thanks for geeking out with me on this.
Of course, this is fun.
This was Tarek Jahan.
Really interesting approach to SEO.
It's not just about keywords anymore.
It's more than that.
It's about intent. It's about
building relationships.
Yes.
And
it's about staying ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
So until next time.
Keep diving deep.